Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Martin Dreyfuss Show, and welcome back to the continued coverage of the Russia-Ukraine crisis. 30 minutes ago, the United States released more information about the sanctions it will be placing on Vladimir Putin and the foreign minister. I believe you call him Larvov. So let's see what the world is talking about.
Courtney, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki just confirmed that the United States will follow European leadership here and impose sanctions on Vladimir Putin personally. That is a step that the United States has resisted. Imposing sanctions on a head of state is seen as a dramatic escalation in terms of sanctions. Also difficult to do because you've got to track Vladimir Putin's assets around the world and sort out the difference between sort of Putin personal assets and Russian state assets, all of which can be kind of complicated. But the United States now saying it is going to take that step here. And interesting.
So that means I don't know how he's going to feel about his bank accounts being frozen, his assets being taken. The world's about to mess with Vladimir Putin's personal money.
Well, Biden said that yesterday, that he had froze like 3 Russian banks that had like billions of fucking Russian.
No, that's Russian money. They're taking Vladimir Putin's personal money in his bank accounts, like his personal assets.
This is not going to go well.
Like, and
he's gonna flip.
As this gentleman just said, that's an extreme step in escalation that we've been resisting. I don't know how you can say we've been resisting it though. It's been a day.
It's literally been a day.
Anyway.
In terms of the sequencing, how the United States is presenting that as following along after European officials made the decision to do the same thing. So clearly the United States allowing Europeans to go first here and then following them, a demonstration of leadership on both sides of the Atlantic. So this is a development a lot of people have been watching for. Now it's being confirmed by the White House.
Yeah, I mean, we've been hearing that this could be a possibility for a little while now, but in many ways it's a very unusual and intense step because you don't usually see heads of state personally and directly sanctioned.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, it really is unusual. That's a great way to put it. We've seen Kim Jong-un do a lot of crazy things. We've seen a lot of leaders do a lot of crazy things. I don't recall ever seeing this in history.
I don't think. I feel like the reason they're doing this is because we've never seen this in history, and this is going to end up being catastrophic towards the world. Like,
and I guess they don't want to hurt Russia because
they can't step in.
Russians don't want
this. Russians gonna blow up the fucking world. He already said, don't step in, or else this is it for everyone.
Well, and it's also messed up for them to, and they know this. They can't completely cripple the Russian economy because there's videos of demonstrations. They don't want to be a part of this war. The Russian people are not bad people. They're not Nazis. They're
just as hurt about this as everybody
wanting
else.
this war. So it is unusual. That's very fair.
How far-reaching could these implications be?
I think it's necessary.
Well, what Jen Psaki just said at the White House is they're going to be releasing new details about that this afternoon, or shortly, I think is what she actually said. So we'll see if that is this afternoon. And we may be on the verge of finding out exactly what Putin's holdings are. You've got to imagine that intelligence services in all the Western countries have spent a good bit of time over the past several years trying to piece together what Vladimir Putin's assets actually are, and those holdings of his family members, some of whom are around the world. Putin has been very private about even who the members of his family are, let alone what his assets are.
Are they trying to take his family and stuff, freeze their assets?
That's his assets, yeah. He's taking all Putin's assets, anything.
So anybody related to him is fucked now.
Who's like closely, you're not like his fifth cousin who like doesn't know him and you just happen to be related to him, you know what I mean? It's people that are part of Putin, that are his immediate family. And that's crazy to me because, like he said, it's hard to determine what assets are Russia's and what assets are Putin's because Putin's not the president of the United States. Putin is, although he's considered a president, is more of a dictator, which means I could be wrong, but is probably pretty directly tied to Russian assets. And with that being said, like the gentleman on the screen said, I don't know how they're going to separate Russian assets and Putin's assets. Because
that seems very
there's
hard.
Nothing stopping Putin from going to the grocery store and just swiping the economy card, baby. I don't know.
And, U.S. intelligence has been spending some time.
If you went to a grocery store in Russia, it's Putin. They're not going to be like, oh, no, sir, you gotta pay for that. Wait! Like, that's not going to happen. Like, who would do that to Putin?
We may be able to see some of that come into public view because in order to sanction those assets, you're going to have to say where they are and tell the holders of those assets that those are, in fact, Putin assets and they're now blocked.
It's, those steps are going to be interesting and very difficult to actually undergo. I don't know. You say it's smart. I don't know how necessary it is.
I just don't think there's
see
really
the
much
benefit.
we can do. I feel like the point of all these sanctions is like, it's not really putting Russia back or Putin back, but like
it's just enough to make the world think that we're
doing something because we can't step in and really do anything
without causing catastrophic war.
The world will go to war, and we can't sit back and do absolutely nothing. So at least
the world will go to war with them probably.
Yes, yeah, and so I don't know. I feel like they are all also at a loss of what the fuck do we do. So this is like we're just trying to do anything
what
we can think of
without causing the worst.
Yeah, to just make
And I mean, we critique a lot. That's our job, being on the media. But at the end of the day, these guys are making the hardest decisions of the past probably 70, 80 years. Harder decisions even than Ronald Reagan made going back to Germany for the first time in 50 years. I mean,
this is World War.
It could potential World War. And these are the people who are responsible.
They're scared
to stop it. And if they don't,
they fail humanity. And that's the shitty part is there could be a possibility that all of us are gone.
And it's hard to blame anyone for their decisions because they're talking to the best of the best. They're talking to each other. They got all the information.
They think they're right. Like, Putin thinks he's doing the right thing. He thinks he's right.
100%.
Everybody in their shoes thinks they're right. They're doing the right thing.
Ukraine, Russia, NATO, everybody.
It's like a double-edged sword because it's like...
That's why I'm sitting here devil's advocating so much.
It's sad because... It really shows how delusional like the world is as a whole. Like nobody is on the same fucking page, and everybody wants to say they are.
Not in their own country, not in the world, not in your own city.
Like everybody.
It's depressing and sad.
It is.
We got to do better.
And you gotta stop being fucking delusional and just thinking about yourself. Like that's